You brought out, say, your signature move, the chip and chase.
Right.
We've heard a lot about this chip and chase.
This chip and
apparently.
chase. We discussed.
I thought I'd put a couple of feelers out. People can ask me, Luke, who's on the podcast? I've told them, when trying to keep it a bit secret. Scott Otten coming on. I didn't know you were this funny.
I'm not.
You're not. That's the thing. You're not funny, but you don't make me laugh.
And then on the fifth scan, it was literally said on the day, like, you've got to retire. There's no choice. Like,
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Keep It Yourself podcast with myself, Luke, and as usual, to my right I have Adam.
What's up?
And today we have a special guest. It's Mr. Scott Otten.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. So basically, introduce yourself. Like, what do you do? Where have you come from? Who are you? Tell us.
So, well, where do I fucking start?
Nice. Aim with the swear words, early doors, get it out of the way, boom.
No, the rugby started when I was 10, playing for One Island Rugby Club. And then just played there, wanted to obviously play for the Ospreys growing up, so I just strived to do that. And then when I was 16, went into the academy. Again, 16s, 18s, into what they call the junior academy then, and then professional rugby then at 19. So it was a bit of a wild couple of years. All the boys were in the junior academy long before me, so I didn't think I wasn't sure if I was actually going to make it. Then I had a phone call being in Gower College library at the time.
No phones in the library as well.
No, I know. Fucked
You
it.
shouldn't have answered that
Rule
call.
breaker, mate. And so played professional rugby 7 years. And yeah, a season ticket holder as a kid. Always wanted to represent the Ospreys and managed to, as soon as I had one cap, just wanted more and more really, and learned a lot. Made some good friendships. Had some amazing experiences along the way. So it's it's good. It's a dream come true really.
So what did it feel like then, taking it from being in the stands watching it as a season ticket holder to then move into coming off the bench against Cardiff Blues for your first your first game?
Oh yeah, it was surreal really, and I tried to play football as a kid, but rather than watch the ball as a goalkeeper, I used to fucking watch a plane. So the ball was more on the back of the net than fucking any.
So you were crap then?
Yeah, I was fucking.
Too busy waving at the striker as a ball came past you.
And then I became a fat kid then, so they put me in goal on purpose.
I know the feeling, mate. I know the feeling.
Yeah, so I was as I say, like growing up, it was playing for One watching the Ospreys. There was unbelievable players there at the time. If you look at Jerry Collins, Marty Holler, Justin Marshall, look at people like Hugh Bennett. Who else we got? Richard Hibbard at the time, even though managed to be there when Hibbs was there as well. Ryan Jones. Watched
Alan Wynne Jones, he's always been at Ospreys, hasn't he?
Yeah, Alan Wynne. Yeah, obviously I grew up with, my parents love caravanning, and Tip's parents are the same, so I grew up with Tip. So he was Justin Tip, right?
Yeah.
I was playing badminton with him in Spain over this bush. I'm getting absolutely schooled by him, and I've never ever beaten him in anything since either. So
Badminton over a bush.
yeah.
Decent that.
Weird,
No next, though.
weird times. Boxers off. Weird. So growing up watching was amazing, really. And as I said, I just wanted to play then. I just wanted to play at the Liberty. And then our first cap was, our first story of professional rugby was Clermont away. Nearly pulled out because I had a bad hamstring.
This France.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I nearly pulled out because I had a bad hamstring. And then managed our 50 minutes, and this guy just saw me in a ruck, some young kid, and 18 at the time, just looked at me, and I could see him looking at me, and I thought, please, no, like, I just want to get off this pitch alive. All I seen was this big fist clunk me on the face. I'm just there on the floor, whistle goes, so nothing happens. He's walking off happy days, and I come home with a big black eye, and you can imagine my mother's face. You're not doing that anymore.
Well, who's this for now?
So I was for the Ospreys,
That's for the
pre-season
Ospreys.
game.
Pre-season, okay.
And then happened to get a cap then, as you said, against the Blues, which was the Liberty as well. So I was just...
It's a big day for the Ospreys, isn't it? Like Cardiff Blues.
Yeah. Any derbies, any Welsh derbies is a good day, The way the league's going now is, recently it's been harder because, the fans do make it a little bit different, with all the games kind of seem the same. When you play the Leinsters and Munsters and stuff like that, it's very different. But Welsh derbies, it's like Swans, Cardiff, Celtic Rangers, without the amount of fans they have. But
Yeah.
you know, it's the same feel as a sports person. You want to get one up on the guys up the road or down the road. So surreal experience, and I'm happy to have got to 110 caps really.
Do you feel like when the fans weren't there because of COVID and everything changing all the dimensions of the actual game, did that affect the way that you guys played or affect anything sort of in the game?
I don't know, really, to be honest with you. Like, fans do make a difference. Like, you know, when you're running out and they're cheering, or a try happens, or a penalty's given against you or with you. You know, when you're playing Rodney Parade and you got the fans about 3 meters from the side of the pitch and they're shouting at you. And as a hooker, you're standing on the edge thinking,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. You got
Jerry
in the crowd flicking me. And lives 3 doors down the road from Rodney Parade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere else other than the spa.
Comes with his dragon's tattoo on his
Yeah. One on his calf as well. So he...
I didn't know you were this funny.
I'm not.
You're not. That's the thing. You're not funny, but you don't make me laugh.
No, so...
God.
Yeah, like... It does make a difference, and I enjoy the opposition crowd. Like, again, we used to play Pontypridd for Swansea, Premiership Rugby, and they always had the biggest crowd. And Sardis Road is like a really tight pitch, so the fans were like, Ponty, and you're like, on the pitch. And then on your shouting field, I need to tuck my jersey off and add one of theirs. Great.
Give me a contract.
The experience is unbelievable. Like, we played Racing Metro in the dome. It's called Paris La Défense, something like that. And it's like when the Principalities closed. You know, that atmosphere. It's unbelievable. You know, not having the fans, it is different. You know, there's a penalty awarded, you just hear the boys, which is great. Which is you don't play rugby for the fans. Well, I certainly didn't. I played rugby because I loved the sport. And the fans was just added extra, the support, and all sports teams need fans. Yeah, it's fact. And it's nothing to do with financial issues or growing money, and that just comes within the business part of the sport. But you do need it. But ultimately, you play it because you love the game. But as I said, when you score on a try, it didn't happen much for me. But when George North goes over for a try in the corner and the fans absolutely erupt, or he's 50 metres out from the line and he's got no one in front of him, that's one of the best experiences you have on the pitch, when you're trying to chase after him just in case and you go in nowhere near him.
How close you get to him?
Well, I was going further away. So sometimes just stop and just let him go. It's like that, when you that built atmosphere, and you sometimes get out in the game. It's an experience that you'll kind of never forget, really.
So, with that, if you brought out, say, your signature move, the chip and chase.
Right.
We've heard a lot about this chip and chase.
Chip and chase. We've discussed.
I've thought I'd put a couple of feelers out. People can ask me, Luke, who's on the podcast? I've told them, we're trying to keep it a bit secret. Scott Otten coming on.
They say, who's that?
No.
Oh, sorry.
But these, I told mainly people that
coffee connoisseur. Yeah.
I told mainly people that like rugby, and they were like, ask him about his chip and chase and that. Well, I had no idea what it was. So do you want to talk us through a bit about the chip and chase?
Do the fans, they see that, they go, oh my God, he's doing it again? Or do they go,
oh my God, he's done it again?
Let's get him off.
Oh, is it?
No, so last year, there was a stat that kicked the ball a lot more than some of the backs. So that was berserk.
Is that because you think, when the ball's in hand, you just think, I can do this?
No, I just think that I'm quicker chasing. I'm like a dog. I'm quicker chasing the ball rather than having it in my hands. So I think boot it as far as you can and run as hard as you can and hope for the best. And I've never scored a chip and chase. Yeah, that's the worst part about it.
So your signature move?
Never scored from it.
You've never scored from it?
Well, I got a couple of stories. So the first time I ever kicked the ball, I was playing Swansea versus Cardiff away, and I was living in Cardiff. I was 25 minutes late for the game.
For the kickoff?
No, for
meeting.
Okay. 25 minutes late, got stuck in traffic. Tried going a different way, it was even worse.
How far did you live from the ground?
15 minutes.
Shambles.
I was 25 minutes late.
Shambles.
And I left on time. So that was a bad start. And I was a young kid.
This is now, when you say for Swansea, is this like...
White.
Are you on loan?
No, I'm contracted with the Ospreys.
Okay.
But they used to, say boys who weren't playing, a lot of the younger boys do now.
Yeah.
They get allocated clubs. So it's Neath, Abraham, Bridgend or Swansea. So it's kind of where you're from.
So the Ospreys will pay you, but you'll train and you'll do everything else with Swansea.
Yeah, so you'll train with the Ospreys throughout the week, and then Tuesdays, Thursdays, then you'll train with the Whites as well. So sometimes you train every day, other than a Wednesday. And then the run-through day for the Ospreys you wouldn't go to, and then you would just have the Friday off and play on the Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. Or if they had a down week, you just train with the Whites, like, you know. So Mevin Davis was the coach at the time. Unbelievable relationship with Mev. He was one of the guys I'd look up to when I was playing through. Always had ripped t-shirts on. Never, you see players these days always looking, especially, look at footballers, they never have ripped in their t-shirt, do they?
No.
They're swapping that out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or the nan's knitting that before they go back.
Nan's knitting it.
You know what I mean? And he used to wear bibs like ripped all the way up here. It was just on his shoulder. Looked up to him. He became head coach of the Whites. So didn't know what he said half the time because half his sentences being Welsh, half of being English. But I know he was angry at this point.
Yeah.
36 minutes into the game. It was a 3-on-1, 3 in our favour.
So you should pass the ball.
Yeah.
And out these three, is one of them quick?
Both of them. Fair. Yeah.
Rogue choice from you.
Yeah. I've never, at this point, I don't think I've ever made a line break other than for an olive. So this was a different kettle of fish here.
So talk us through it then.
So I'm 45 metres out.
Yeah.
And I chipped her over the top. And it went about 6 metres. Still didn't get there.
What, it went 6 metres over the guy's head? Or?
No, in front of it.
Yeah, it didn't go far. The fullback caught it, and he went the length. Then,
so you passed it to the bloke?
Then we give a penalty away. So we had possession, give a penalty away on the halfway line. And then obviously stop the play, stoppage. And all that. And I was like, oh, fuck, what have I done, yeah? And then all of a sudden, look to the left and I see this. Like,
it can't be for me.
Must be you, mate. Must be a fast one on the other side. Scott, you're off. 36 minutes into a game.
So you're 25 minutes late.
Yeah.
And then you only played 36 minutes.
Yeah. So I came off through an absolute tantrum with myself. I said, so at this point we had like money for games and stuff. So it was like, because we were on the small contracts and stuff. It was like 2, 5, 10. And then they would sort it out and stuff. The Whites would pay you for games and that. And then I was like, oh, this is bullshit. I lost my head myself now. No one else. It was my fault. I offered to put my money for the game behind the bar for the boys.
Did they win the game?
I was like, oh, fuck, I can't remember. I was so busy having a tantrum at the time. So I fucking lost my head. Like, I was like, oh, take my money. I don't want it. Boys are like, shut up, you imbecile.
Yeah.
So I'm like, proper wobbler through now. Like, I was embarrassed to even look my mother in the face. So that was that one. Following week, I tracked back and I caught the ball in the 22, playing for the Whites again.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, fuck it. So I wellied it again. And I just went into touch, 25 metres into touch, whatever. I looked over to this first half again. So I looked over and I was like, oh, don't do it, please. And they left me on. He came up to me after the game. He said, that's a situation where you should kick the ball.
Yeah.
So it was all right then. So we kind of fizzled out. And then Munster semi-final, which would be probably the best try I've ever scored. But I didn't score it. So, yeah. Chipped the ball. Came on, Munster away, Thornton Park. Unbelievable, right?
It's the best try I've ever scored. I didn't score it,
broke off this ruck. One-on-one with the full-back. Think, fuck, I ain't going around him. And there's more chance of me falling over him and going through him.
So, like, in your head, like, you don't get long to think. So you naturally, you just do it probably without thinking, don't you?
Yeah, I've tried to look back and think while I was thinking, doing it, but you don't. It's like when sometimes you give a penalty away, like, all right, this time so you just fly in because you're angry. But ultimately, when you look back at it, you think, oh, I wasn't actually thinking straight, So with this then, I just chipped it over the top, caught the ball, scored. I went back to about 3 phases before for a knock-on and didn't give the try.
Oh, so you actually scored?
Yeah.
But they didn't give it?
Yeah.
But it's on YouTube, probably?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
If people get a chance, they should YouTube.
No.
Scott Otten, chip and chase. Successful, not given.
Not given, yeah.
Do you reckon the game that you got subbed off in 36 minutes is on YouTube?
Thank fuck no, I got to do it.
Hope not. Like,
I'll pay
copyright claims in there. Like,
I'll pay to see you.
I didn't agree to this.
I'll pay to see you fuck that one up.
So how did you get from 36 minutes subbed to becoming I think it was the 2020 Conference A pro team of the season you were in?
I would say stop kicking the ball.
Look at these stats.
Unbelievable.
What a guy.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Scott Otten, as you can tell. You may not know this, but this is SO coffee for Scott Otten coffee or So coffee.
Plugged. But yeah, going back to his original question.
Yeah. I would say stop kicking the ball, but I didn't. No, I don't know. Like that kind of stuff is, you know, it was class when it happens. Like you don't expect it. Like you don't. Like for me, I never played for awards like that. It was never me. I did have tunnel vision as a kid, and I was struggled to listen a bit. Thought people would come at me, not, you know, rather than trying to help me. So I struggled with that for about a year or two. But then I learned then when I had a couple of clips in training and things, it does happen. And then I kind of realised then it's not about trophies other than when the team wins one. So stuff like that, like it's great. It was, you know, like I speak to my old man and my mother, chuffed a bit. You know, I speak to my old head coach from when our life, because he helped me massively as a kid. Yeah, he loves it. And as I said, it was a great feeling, but it's just one of those things that you're happy that it's happened. But it's ultimately, you know, I would have preferred it to have seen more of the boys in there with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, the only thing, you know, we've never done is win a trophy with the Ospreys. So that would be more important to me than you know, being in a team of the season.
How likely do you feel that Ospreys are going to be to win a trophy soon? Because obviously they had this big sort of changeover period, haven't they? From being that winning side season after season, being, you know, they were like almost unbeatable at times.
Yeah.
To having to transition into this new phase. Do you feel like they're coming out of that restructuring part now and getting into more of a flow to go forward?
Yeah, I think so. Like they used to be the Galacticos, didn't they? They used to be unbelievable. Like the couple of names I named earlier, you know, and then you mentioned Alan Wynne, you know what I mean? He's still there. Yeah. You know?
Yeah, that's
like,
nuts.
Like he's the GOAT to rugby. He's, you know what I mean? He's unbelievable. Like,
so going back to, you said that like you were part of a team of the year and thing, but you said you never won a trophy with the Ospreys. Do you think the Ospreys will start winning trophies again? Because like when I was young and I used to go watch the Ospreys, not much, I wasn't a massive rugby lover, but they used to win a lot, didn't they? The Ospreys. Like, do you ever think they'll start winning again, like big trophies and that?
Yeah, well, you know, they were the Galacticos of the league. They had an unbelievable team. I think at one point 13 or 14 of them represented Wales and they started. So you can imagine the transition for them when them boys went away to play, but they still got results. So their strength and depth was unbelievable. You look at Hugh Bennett. So Hibbard would start for the Ospreys, but Hugh Bennett would then start for Wales. But then they were both in both teams. So it was a bit wild, you know. They weren't always together in Wales, but there was times they were. And yeah, like over the last couple of years, it's been an absolute roller coaster. You know what I mean? There's been transitions with players. This is our third head coach in the matter of, I think it's 4 or 5 years. You know, you got Tandy, then you had Alan Clark, and now we've got Toby Booth. And you can see, you know, there was times that certain coach roles weren't filled. And it was hard for us players to kind of understand, like even, you know, the players who have played for years, so you still need direction. You know, they are players, they're not the teachers, they're not the coaches, no matter how much they know. You know, from year to year, defence strategies change, lineouts change. You know, it's not their job to do all the analysis. They have to do parts as part of the job, but it's not their job to run it all. So yeah, going back to winning things, like if you look at the season we've had this year, you know, we've missed out on a few things. The Challenge Cup, I generally thought we were going to go and win it, and I think it was Newcastle we lost to, which was, I couldn't believe it. Watching it, didn't play much this year, so I was watching a lot. So yeah, like the Newcastle game, couldn't believe it. I was gutted for the boys, and then I was gutted for us. And if you notice our squad, a lot of young boys are playing. There's a lot of youngsters there, and if you compare it to a lot of other teams, they've been moulded for a while now. Like we're in a new mould. Like we've got new coaches, we've got new setups, we've got new CEOs, we've got new players now rising for the top, and probably going to have a cap in a couple of years. You know, it's a very good atmosphere there, and probably good team cohesion there. Like the rapport between everyone is amazing, and it's just now it's about that winning mentality really, and it's not just game to game. It's, you know, it's getting to the end and winning that trophy. And next couple of years, I'll be very surprised if the Ospreys don't win something big.
Is it, you know, when you said you had like 4 managers, was it 4 head coaches in?
3 we had, yeah.
In what, 4 years?
4 or 5 years.
Is rugby,
like that, yeah.
Is it as doggy as like football? Well, like coaches, like results, do they take out, because results in football, if a team plays bad, the manager's gone in it. Is it the same in rugby?
It's not as cutthroat as that. It's not like how do I put this? There's times like you hear of. There's like if you look at, I don't know, France, for example, they're cutthroat over there. You know what I mean? Players and coaches. If you don't do the job, you're out.
Yeah.
And you know what it's like when boys have gone over there and wanted to come back and play for Wales and stuff like that, and they're like, nah, they play for us. You know what I mean? There's a difference between representing over here. It's like if Wales are in, you're playing for Wales. Do you know what I mean? Like the Ospreys, Scarlets, Blues, and Dragons will get someone else.
You could be playing club rugby in France, and the club won't let you play your country.
Sometimes, they won't let you travel, and there's public knowledge. It's not. There's at times it's cutthroat, but on a whole, it's not as nowhere near as cutthroat as football. Regarding that, finding clubs and stuff probably is tougher, I think. Yeah, because you know what football's like. It's to get to the top. It's hard work, isn't it? How many good footballers do you know that got cut to 12 and they said they were better than Messi? You know what I mean? You see it all the time with rugby. There's a lot more opportunity. You don't get in one club. You look at Matthew Prothero with us. He was playing. He wanted to play for the Ospreys growing up, Swansea boy, and then he was one Olive boy as well. Didn't get the opportunity he wanted. Went to Hartpury, played for Gloucester, Bristol. Then he represented England 18s, and I think the 20s. And now he's come back to the Ospreys, and you know what I mean. Like, there's time. I think there's times when Swans boys have gone and come back, but you don't see it much. Like we've got quite a lot of players in our team that have done that. Look at Nicky Tom. He's got more clubs than Tiger Woods, and he's back at the Ospreys now.
Do you think though that's because it's compared to when we compare this to football, really, aren't we? Do you think it's because people don't get paid as much? It's easy to find a salary for a rugby player than it is to find for a footballer. Because you look at a footballer that just take a championship footballer, 20 years old, coming through the ranks now. They sign a good deal. They could be on like $5,000 a week, maybe. I imagine. In football, you're going to think we can't give out as many contracts because there's big wages in it. Obviously, the revenue in football makes so much more money than rugby. But do you think it's easier to give contracts out in rugby because the money's not as big and stuff, or?
I think it's the business. I think the business is more respected, or the sport is more respected in rugby than it is football. This is my own opinion. I think you have these CEOs and whatever they are, the owners of football clubs. They've got no tie to the club. It's all financial. Yeah. So if they want to get rid of you, they'll get rid of you. They don't care. They just want the money rolling in. So if they feel like getting rid of you and getting someone else in to benefit the club, they'll do it. I think there's a lot more loyalty in rugby. Like some places it isn't, but you can't have it all the same. But I think football is very business orientated. Like it's a good sport and fans generate is unbelievable. They're the biggest sport in the world. But when you have these big dogs come in that no one actually knows and have got no tie to the club or the local areas within that club, they are going to cut it. With rugby, you have a lot more people who come from, dare I say it, but more family backgrounds where their family does come first and they don't just ship their family everywhere. Even coaches now, they move from England to Wales, but I guarantee they're going home. And the money side of it probably comes into it then. Yeah. Now, if you get millions a year and you say to your missus, we're going there for millions, I'm sure most other halves would be like, all right, we'll make this work.
Yeah, Hannah be gone, wouldn't it? A couple of mil. She'd be gone, ski, straight away.
Yeah.
Get home, bags packed, ready.
I'm selling coffee and everything, and she still wants to go. Yeah, it's different. I think it's just a business, really.
Do you think that like the sort of family-oriented vibes just runs through the actual roots of the sport as well? Because if you look at sort of football, they're not as in touch with the grassroots level as you see with rugby. So you have a lot of rugby going, as you said earlier with Ospreys, a lot of the players that weren't playing would play for Premiership teams. Yeah. And then to get to a Premiership team, like the route there is a lot more direct than it is if you're playing football, for example.
Yeah, like I guess so. Like growing up playing rugby has always been about family, like family at home, family within the club. Even playing with Manalo, even coaching Manalo, it's all about family. And I guess that's where you get the respect of rugby players. Like footballers are good people. Like when people like for example, Gareth Bale give what to the nurses 10% or something, or was it
£1 million? £1 million.
And people moaning he didn't give more. well, whether that's 12%, 15% of his wage, ask everyone else in the world to give 12% of their wage, and they'd say no.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter how much they earn, he's give that money.
Yeah.
So like, and he doesn't need to do that.
No.
So like the slack, the footballers get and the shit they get is wrong.
They get a lot of shit.
Yeah, they do.
A lot of
They
shit.
do, but it comes from the top.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. It's not the players. The players are easier to attack. With rugby, they don't attack the players, they attack the top.
Yeah.
It's like a role reversal, and that's where it comes from.
Yeah.
And it's all to do with the money side of it, but it's also to do with that family feel you think about, because the fans feel like they're friends with players. Like, because we do so much appearances, and people see us walking into the stadium having signatures and stuff like that, and we walk around the pitch and we do sign-in sessions. Like on the last game of the season, we walk around the whole stadium to all about 150 of them, and we all give a signature. But you know what I mean? It's like, like the support there is it is a family culture, definitely. Yeah. And I think the things that we spoke about in the previous question kind of all relate into that.
Yeah, I think that you make a really good point with that, and especially with what you said with the fans and stuff. Like, I remember going back to when I was a child, like we'd watch, Ospreys Scarlets back at St. Helens before it was even at the Liberty, and end of the game, everyone's flooding the pitch with their programs, trying to get all the players to sign it and things like that. And then going on from there, like the Ospreys I think they put all the local sides on their shirt, didn't they? Like every single team.
77 of them.
You wouldn't see that in football. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't see the local. Like that's where I feel like they have more of they're in touch with.
I'll tell you, some football club have a football club. I can't know what club it is. Sorry to just go off on it.
No, it's all right.
Do you know, because of the pandemic,
Yeah.
some people cancel their season tickets, innit?
Yeah.
This one club, every person that kept their season ticket, even though there was no football, their new kit next year now has got everyone's name.
So their new kit's a Leavers hoodie for year 11.
Don't look. Why are you taking the negative out of that? Fucking asshole. But no, I think. But
No, that's good.
Going back to what you said, you made a joke about, you said doing these silent walk on the pitch to 150 people. What is it with rugby at the minute? Because as I said, like I wasn't a massive fan. Like when I was in school, they'd do trips to go to the Ospreys play, and there'd be good crowds. It'd be pretty full. There'd be over 10,000 people there. Yeah. Maybe even 15,000. Yeah. Now the attendance for the Ospreys is pretty fucking shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, in comparison to before, yeah, but
Why is that? Do you think that's rugby itself, or do you think it's just the following for the Ospreys? Like, do you think it's the club, or?
No, I think the football has a big part of it. I think a lot of kids growing up in the last couple of years have not bothered with rugby.
Because when the Swans were in Premier?
Yeah, when I was growing up, like for example, when Swans were in League One, I had a season ticket for the Swans, and I used to watch the Ospreys. I watched both. My family's all football orientated. I'm the only kind of rugby person really that's come from it. And I think like over the years, as you say, getting to the Prem, like becoming this big club, they kind of, kids growing up these days want to be that. And as we said, it is cutthroat, but every kid has their own dreams, so they can do what they want. But I think that kind of has that knock-on effect. When I was growing up, there was kids playing half time. There was loads of kids going. Like majority were probably kids over adults. Like I used to go with my friends, and the whole One Our Life would go every Saturday, Sunday if we could, straight after the game, if we could go and get some tickets. And I think that dynamic has changed. But like to be fair with the Ospreys now, they run a couple of programs. Like they work with veterans. They got a tackle program. The Ospreys community, they're doing a shed loads. To get more people in, and they're starting to generate a lot of following from it, and that's a way of getting people to come back and watch the Ospreys. Like this Premier Sports, like people pay £10 £10 a month to watch these games, and half the time they don't even work. But there's steps in place now to kind of really generate, and like with Nick Garcia coming in, I know he's mad keen to get people back in, and that's one of their focuses is the fans. And like the following's great, it is really good, but it doesn't kind of complement the numbers in the stadium. You know what I mean? And that's all we need. We just need people to don't watch it on TV, dare I say it, but come to the stadium, come and enjoy the atmosphere.
Is it expensive? Is it how much is a ticket?
I'm not sure. Like
25 quid, 30 quid, something like that.
I think it was cheaper than that.
It was like £5 a kid at times. Like it was cheap. You know what I mean? It's not expensive. It's not like I couldn't even guess at the moment, to be honest with you.
That's carnage.
I'm fairly certain that like the season tickets themselves are a quarter of the price, maybe a little bit more than a quarter of the price. Than
what they were, or
than what it is of like Swansea.
Yeah.
Like Swansea, I pay for my season ticket. I pay I think $360 something like that, $330.
That's still good. That's still.
I'm not saying, in terms of football, amazing.
Yeah,
that's an
that's
amazing
very
price.
good.
And that's not me slating the price of football because I'm a football fan as well. I love football. I'm just saying, like, comparatively,
Yeah.
if you're paying a fraction of the price for another sport, and Swansea and Ospreys will never play on the same day at home. Do you know what I mean? Because they're going to be playing alternate weeks. So if you can afford to, and you like rugby, I see no reason why you wouldn't go down there and watch them as well. And I mean, a lot of people, like, you see the turnout for international rugby.
Yeah,
if you can get that into club rugby, and this actually kind of leans on to what I wanted to say about earlier. Is, do you feel like with the sort of the success kind of dwindling slightly with Ospreys, do you think that is now synonymous with the crowds dwindling as well? Do you think that that's the reason why that's gone like that, or do you think that's just come up with sort of what you were saying with people being more focused on football, being more successful? It kind of went in a pivot in the way that the Swans got more successful, and the Ospreys' success dropped.
Yeah.
And do you feel like the crowds worked off the back of that, or do you reckon it was just bad luck?
No, it definitely is that. I think. Not going off any statistics or anything, but for a business to grow, you've got to have success. You've got to have the foundations have to be successful, and for a sports team to grow and the fans to follow that, they need to be successful within themselves to give the fans something to follow. And regardless of supporting the Ospreys for 15, 20 years, you're always going to love the club, but having that extra success, beating, having a cup run or beating all the Welsh regions, or Derby Day on like Boxing Day when that used to be a sellout, that was a place to go because people were dying to see the Ospreys beat the Scarlets, and the other way around. Scarlets fans were dying to watch it live to see if Scarlets would beat the Ospreys. But regardless of the result, back in the days, the following week, it would still be a sellout. It would still have the fans.
Yeah.
But that's because the team was so successful, and it was because kind of the names that were involved in that as well. And you talk about international rugby, that when they had 13, 14 starting Ospreys, was starting for Wales as well, in the Six Nations, for example, people want to go and see that. We've got some very big names in our club.
Yeah.
So, when we're going in a direction now where we're going to be very successful again. I feel it, and I haven't felt that in about 5 years. And you will see the fans follow that, and the fans will start coming back to the stadium. You'll have the core fans, which you do, but you'll start seeing 10, 12,000 again. I'm confident to say that in the next 2-3 years, you'll see that again.
When you say 10,000, like, it's not that many people, considering it's a 21,000 seat stadium.
But if you look at Bath or Bristol or stadiums in England, they watch them on TV, they look like they're packed, don't they? They're 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 stadiums.
Is it?
We're playing the Liberty. Imagine our fans turn up to Brewery Field, St. Helens, the Knoll. Like, every time we played in the Knoll, we
Didn't the Ospreys want to buy St. Helens? Did they not want to move there?
That was all up in the air. I don't really know.
You don't really know?
No, I stay out of all that. But when we played Cheetahs last year in the Knoll, we probably had the same amount of fans in the Knoll that we did in the Liberty, and the atmosphere was absolutely electric. Unbelievable. As I said earlier about Rodney Parade, they're like 4 meters away from the pitch, and they're erupting. Every time the ref makes a call, every time we score, every time they score, you can hear the atmosphere drop. You know what I mean? Big tackle, whatever it is. And the atmosphere is just on top of you. I did in that game as well. And that, unbelievable feelings. And it will. The stadium is a huge stadium. And does it incorporate the fans for rugby at the moment? Probably not.
No.
But it will, I think.
With, what you were saying earlier with the team having so many Welsh players in it before, when it was things like Six Nations, club rugby doesn't stop, does it, alongside that?
No.
So how did the Ospreys sort of react to losing basically their whole first team when they were, in their...
Well, I was a kid at this point.
Yeah.
But from what I've experienced now, if for my position, hooker, there's times where I was playing, Baldwin was starting for Wales, and there was times where Hibbs was there as well. So Hibbs would play for Wales. Baldwin might have been called up here or there before he started for Wales. And then if both of them went, I'm like, yes. Because then I know I'm going to start for the Ospreys, or even have a chance to start. But yeah, I think from a coach's point of view, in rugby, is you play with what you've got. And if 13 boys go up, then 13 boys need to step up and start.
Yeah.
And it's up to them then to kind of the mindset of it is to say, well, when he comes back, I'm not going to make it easy for him.
Yeah.
I want to be selected. I want to be in the Welsh jersey as well. You know, so it's a healthy competitive environment, really.
So if you played well, and then they came back in, the chances of you staying in high, or would they?
It's very hard to stay in, yeah.
Is it?
But it's the longevity of that. It's like every time they go away, show yourself.
So you were sort of looking forward to, if there was ever a Welsh camp on, like, you'd be like, right, this is my opportunity to show up, sort of thing.
Yeah. And I've been on both sides of it. I've been on a side where I didn't play well, and I'm like kicking myself when I go home. And I've been on sides where, I'm pretty happy. And if he starts over me next week, no matter he just started 6 games for Wales, I'm gonna be fuming. And that's healthy. You know, when you look back, it's healthy to have that, and it shows willing, and that's what you want in rugby.
Do you feel like you were a little bit hard done by like not getting into the Wales squad with sort of your performances, especially of late prior to sort of your retirement, which I think we should sort of touch on to next, because you as we said, you were team of the season. Yeah. You've been playing amazing. I think you're the only Welsh player as well in that team of the season, if I'm correct. Do you feel like you should have been picked for Wales?
Should I have been picked? That's not my call.
No.
Did I always want to play for Wales? Yes. Will I live life being gutted about it? No, I won't. I'm a big believer in whatever happens, and I always worked, regardless if I was talented at something or not, I just worked as hard as I could. Like I got told sometimes I'm working too hard, but it's just the way I was and the way I probably always will be. Like the business stuff, I'm like the same. Would have been nice to represent them, but ultimately it wasn't kind of my journey really. I represented the Ospreys 110 times. I could sit here and say I wanted to be a Lion, but you know what I mean. Like it's special players get picked for that, and if I ever have gotten there, it would have been that's the pinnacle of your career. Yeah. And to play 110 games for the Ospreys, I kind of just look at what I have achieved, and I did want to get in line with a cap really is 200 games, because I have five or six boys have done it for the Ospreys now, and I wanted that. I wanted to get to 200. I'm only 26. There's a good chance I could have. Oh yeah. Because there's times where I didn't know if I was staying at the Ospreys or not. And before retirement, I signed a 2-year deal. Before knowing, like it was before even the game when it happened, and so I wanted to be there longer and get more caps and still try and represent Wales. And am I gutted about it now? No. What was I gutted every time I wasn't picked? And when I was playing, yes, I was devastated every time. But I was just focusing on playing for the Ospreys. That's my club. I'm not going to dwell on that. That's happened. The thing is with stuff like that, it's out of your hands. Yeah. That it's one man ultimately who makes a decision whether he picks you or not, and that's ultimately how I saw it.
But it's out. You say it's out of your hands.
There's no bitterness there either. Ever.
No. That, and I want you to be honest, because this is what we're all about on here, is being honest. Did you ever, think, right, the Welsh team's getting announced soon, and did you ever think to yourself, you know what, I think I could be in this time?
Off the back of last year, I did, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then, because you obviously you say every time you see the Welsh team and you're not in it, you gutted. That time were you proper fuck? Because you thought, no, I think this is my chance.
No, I was same mindset.
Which is a good mindset to be in.
I just thought if there was ever an opportunity for me to do it now, I'm hoping it was a hope. I'm hoping it was that. But representing the Ospreys and playing well and starting each week doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be representing Wales, because the way I played my game was very different to how I guess some of the hookers play for Wales, and I was very different. So
chip and chase.
Yeah, that thing. No, but there was times growing up, mate. My around the field game would be good, but I couldn't throw a wrench at a barn door. It was fucking terrible. I'd miss one throw. I nearly got yellow carded once. I threw 2 not straights, and I threw a third, and the referee threatened to yellow card me. I think I'm first hooking in world rugby to get threatened with the yellow card.
What's that, when you throw the ball at your team?
No,
yeah, but I hit the other team. Or I throw it too far to our team. You know what I mean?
Straight in the middle.
Just aim at a dartboard and throw it to the wall over there, and that's kind of what my throwing was like. But so growing up,
so you don't fucking 110 games. You don't fucking well.
Solo living. So looking back, honestly, I thought there might have been an opportunity for me there, I never really listened to anyone who said, "Oh, I reckon this is your season." It was none of that. It was like, look, I'll train each day as it comes. I'll play each week as it comes, and whatever comes off the back of it comes off the back of it. And when I wasn't selected, it was just one of those things. I just took it on the chin.
You did represent under 20 level, didn't you? So
yeah, under 18.
What did that sort of feel like? Did it have sort of that pride moment? Representing your country. I know it wasn't at full international. Is that under 20s, under 18s?
Yeah, like I got caps in the house, and it's an unbelievable feeling. But it's quite funny actually, because in 18s and 20s you have 2 years if you're a certain age. So because I was 1984, I could have been picked first
1984. Nice.
Did I say 84?
Yeah.
Did you get your own birthday wrong?
Cut that.
Leave it in.
I was born 1994.
No wonder you had to fucking retire. You fucking old ancient. No.
You're still older than me.
36?
Hey, take your hat off. Show your grace.
I ain't got great as.
Take your hat off.
I ain't got great as.
Take your hat off.
So rugby, yeah?
Take your hat off.
So
Yeah, we
rugby,
just did that
yeah?
half.
What's going on
No,
Don't
don't look at
bead
mine.
on it. Yeah. So I was never picked for that first year. So I was like the reject year then. I was getting picked the second year every time. But no, like regardless, that's the same thing. I wasn't picked for the first year of 18s because of my age. I was lucky I got another chance. And then I was picked the 18s, that same process for the 20s. But when I wasn't picked, it was like, right, next year I've got an opportunity to get picked. And it happened twice. So yeah, like unbelievable feeling. Went to New Zealand, played in the World Cup. Amazing feeling. I struggled a bit out there personally. Nothing going on at home or nothing like that. Just it was my own mindset. Probably a bit selfish. So like, I think looking back now, I think that's why I struggled a bit. But learned from that. And then when I went back into the Ospreys then, I kind of took that and it helped me then.
So then moving on now to sort of the injury and coming to this process. So a couple of weeks ago, you announced your retirement.
Yeah.
You were playing against Dragons.
Yeah.
Thought you having gave me a career by the sounds of it. 2 tries. Unheard of.
I got held up for one of them, so it wasn't 2.
Oh, it was just
Scrum
one.
half held me up.
We'll say 2. Fuck them. Fuck them. We'll say 2.
It's just like the one that got pulled back for the knock on as well. Like, yeah. I scored a try in that too.
Yeah, so many tries taken away.
You would have had a lot more than the 10 and 110, but
Yeah, it's not bad.
that's not
That's
bad for
good, I
hockey,
think.
yeah.
10 for a hooker, no? Is that good? Just say yes, mate.
Slow ball.
Fucking say yes.
Yeah, let's move on from that.
You never know. If you want to kick the ball, maybe you'd just run through them and scored more. You never know.
Well, I'll have a think about that tonight when I'm in bed.
But yeah, touching on,
So the injury.
non-ideal subject, but your recent retirement, mate.
Yeah, like injury in fucking January. Without going into too much detail, like it was bad neck, turned into cut from playing and training, turned into 9 weeks in a neck brace, turned into 5 scans, and then on the 5th scan, it was literally said on the day, like, you've got to retire. There's no choice. Like, we're medically advising you to retire, and yeah, that was it. Then on the spot, went in. Hannah and my dad were in the car at the time, because we knew it could be a possibility, so it was best for my mother to stay.
What
in
did
the
you
house.
think though? You like they said to you,
dad
come in. Obviously, in your mind that it's either going to be this or that. In the back of your head, were you like, "This is it," or were you like,
I was ready for the news. Yeah.
had you planned for the bad news, or did you think you just thought it was going to be it? Yeah.
No, we've planned for it. Like we sorted all bills and everything just in case, because we said if I don't have to retire, at least financially, we've helped ourselves out actually. So it's probably something people should do anyway. But it was like, right, this plan for the worst. So we did. And then when it came about, I was just like emotionless really, and I was for a couple of weeks. And yeah, it was hard news to take. And then my physio just couldn't talk to me. He was gutted. He said, I'll speak to you next week. So I went for a few beers. Saturday, I got absolutely leathered the next day. Still, I just wanted to forget about what's gone on. But bear in mind, like, this isn't news that's just, in my mind, has just hit me. It's news that I kind of knew could have come.
Yeah. So you were like 30% prepared?
More than that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was pretty prepared for it. Like, I was more prepared than I wasn't.
Did you feel like in like, not necessarily in the game, but after the game, did you feel like this is like a career-ending injury?
No.
What did did it feel like a bad injury at all? What was it like?
No, at first I felt like it was just a sore neck. I hadn't, as I said earlier, I hadn't played much. It was my second game in. I thought, this is a sore neck. I haven't played for so long. Like training doesn't really reflect, the games as much. So I thought, and I got held up over the line, so I probably didn't help my neck. No, so the next day, so I walked off, bad neck, said a physio, a bit of a sore neck. He's like,
so you didn't get taken off or subbed off, like you just went off as if...
It was pretty much towards the end of the game, so like...
Just played through and then thought, a bit tight.
Yeah, and then ultimately then I went to the physio. Yeah, we'll check in on Monday. Sunday then I couldn't move. Struggled to get out of bed. Couldn't smooth my dog. Like reach down, standing up. I had to like lunge down and get onto my knees to smooth my dog. I was sitting like this for like 9 hours, pillow behind my head. Like it was like this, talking to Hannah. Excuse not to do anything on the house. And then Monday then it seemed a lot better. Still an issue. Went on for weeks. Couldn't scrummage. Really struggled. Couldn't. Then he said on that. So I had the scan. Then the next day they rung. As soon as I went for the scan, they rung me that night and I went, right, Scott, just let you know you've got to wear a neck brace for the next 3 weeks. You're not to do any training. So I was like, what? Like, what the fuck? Thought that they would tell me what it was, so I knew like what was going on. Went back 3 weeks later, another 6 weeks. And then that was the 6th week then. So the 9th week it was. That's when I found out the news then. So I obviously drive back with my old man and Hannah in the car. And then...
What was your old man like?
Didn't really say much. Because I'd prepped my old man. Like I'd said to him, this is how I'm feeling.
So you get the news and you get back in the car and like, is it like a silence or are you just like, yep, that's me?
Oh, I flat out said it. Would you say that? I did, didn't I?
I think I was sat in the front of the car with his dad and I got out. And as we swapped and he'd get in the front, he just looked at me and shook his head. And it was like, oh my God, I just them now.
Yeah, so he said, man. My dad was like, didn't jump in like he normally does. He's quite outspoken, my old man. He's like looking at me and I said, yeah, that's it. We got to retire.
And obviously it doesn't sink in then, does it? I think when you get any sort of news in life, like bad news, it doesn't sink in straight away. It's quite traumatic, really. When it's fucking horrible, mate. Looking at it, it's fucking horrible.
So I went a couple of weeks planning. I piled into So Coffee straight away. That Monday after the piss up, straight into it. I was like, I'm not waiting around. I'm not letting this consume me. I've dived straight into it. Obviously, I was still going in for rehab and all that. And I managed then to do, I was doing like bits of weights that I could do and rehab and treatment and stuff. And I'm doing that now till kind of the end of June, really.
So you can't play anything again?
Can't play any contact sports ever again.
So your career in being a goalkeeper, that's not going to be coming out?
Especially looking up at the clouds. Your neck, sorry.
Fucked it.
We laugh at it.
I made a joke, felt bad.
I'd fill the fucking goal, so don't worry about it.
Wow.
How many goals for the five-side team? Oh, you can't even play the five-side team. No.
Why?
Keep it. No, not you. You can't. You can.
Oh, from me.
No, so I've taken up golf actually. So getting pointers off you, and
getting points off you. Don't need pointers off me.
Yeah. So as you say, like the news, just been dealing with it now for a couple of weeks. I've literally piled into So Coffee. Like the plans we've got are really good, and we've got an actual proper business plan now, and an actual like plan from now till Christmas. And then we're going to look at something else going into the new year and some new plans based on how well these go. And yeah, I've had a couple of down days where I just get up in the morning and I don't want to do anything. And anyone who knows me, they know like my mind's always going and I can't sit still. Like I got to be doing something all the time. And even when I'm chilling, my laptop's in front of me somewhere. Like even if I'm just looking at it, I feel like I'm doing something. Yeah. So ultimately, as I said, a couple of down days, but like I'm surprised I haven't like got upset or cried or got those type of emotions at all.
Do you think that might end up happening at some point where like you might just like come to a realization of this is it, like fuck?
I don't know is the answer.
Is it the end of the rugby season now?
Yeah. This week, yeah.
Could be a case of like when it gets back to like, because it'll be your first like it'll be your first year in how many years that you won't have to go in for a pre-season and then maybe.
Yeah. Well, 10 years, yeah.
And if you do get upset, then
will you
just call me.
Yeah, I'm gonna think about it.
Because if you cry, I'll cry with you.
Yeah,
You're not gonna
make it
call
through
me,
my
are you?
cycle ride too. Why not?
You ain't got your number, mate. Don't.
No, I was just joining.
We're having a moment, you fuck off.
We'll get
Sorry,
after
sorry,
this. No, that day may come. I don't know. Like when we eventually have our presentation and stuff, like it may come then. I'm not sure because that's kind of the official day for me
Yeah.
in my head. You know, I'm not in this week.
Because you're still you're still training at the minute as well. You're still doing rehab, no?
Yeah, still rehabbing.
So you're still in there in the minute. and stuff,
yeah, still in the
and,
mix a bit. Like so, I'm do.
You're technically at the minute. You're still a professional rugby player, so contracted. Yeah.
Technically, yeah. So I do pull myself away quite a bit because the physios are great. Like they're happy for me as long as I get my rehab done. I'm happy to go and do meetings and things like that. So if I need to get away, I do. And literally, since we found out the news, it's been all go for business really.
Will you be looking into doing sort of any coaching badges or anything like that? Do you think coaching is in the...
Have you got any coaching badges?
Yeah, I just finished my level 2.
Nice.
So I finished my level 2. It was something I did want to do, but I'm not sure being in that environment from a coaching or playing point. Well, obviously not playing. Savage. From a coaching point
just
of
give
view.
himself banter.
From a coaching point of view is kind of me at the moment. I was coaching Manalo, but I've put a stop to that for now, and I'm just going to solely focus on the business. There may be other things that come from it, maybe within the organisation or anything like that. Potentially, I don't know, but I'm very uncertain of where I want to be because I don't want to blanket everything too much and just cover everything up.
Yeah.
Like, in 6 months' time, if I'm coaching, I fall apart. I don't want to do that for myself, my family, all the organisation I'm with.
Yeah.
It's not fair on them. So I need to understand where my head's at first. And at the moment, it's solely on the business.
So with that then, do you want to kind of explain and go into a bit of detail of, So Coffee and Humble Coffee as well? You got your own coffee shop.
So coffee.
Right.
Shout out to So Coffee for the free shirt.
So ultimately
You think it's free?
I'm not taking this home. I'm taking this home.
Bloke's retired. You got to pay for it.
I'll invoice you later. I started So Coffee 2017.
So are you sorry to interrupt because I do it. I've done well today. I haven't interrupted that much. This is my first interrupt. Have you always been a fan of coffee?
Yeah. Growing up, my mother drinks a fucking shed load of it. So, yeah, I kind of probably came from her. But then when I went to university then, like the amount of coffee you drink on a daily basis, I remember I used to have at this point, I don't drink anything like this now. But
I mean, Adam at university and drank VKs, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think you drank much coffee.
But we're talking about coffee, not beer.
It's not beer either, it's VK.
Get a bit angry now.
All
right, calm down, relax yourself. It's not all about you. We'll talk about Adam.
Hey,
When you're in uni,
I didn't even know you were here. You haven't said anything.
Well then. No, but so you're in uni and stuff.
Yeah, in
coffee
uni,
every
drink
day.
a lot of coffee, and then once I finished uni, I wanted a year out because I was juggling uni around kind of rugby, so rugby was primary. And then, what are you laughing at?
I don't know. You said juggling, I just laughed.
I just go fuck myself, though.
No, you're going well.
You're going well.
You said juggling.
if I'm calling you, I'm done. I can't be asked.
You said juggling, and I don't know why. Uni, coffee. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Carry on.
This podcast was slowly downhill if you can.
Fuck it, mate. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, sack off that bit.
So I went to university and then, drunk a lot of fucking coffee and alcohol to keep you happy. And then had a year out then, so I just focused on the rugby and I thought I needed something else alongside this for me, mentally then. Because I was thinking about rugby 24/7, which, some people do, but there was times where I was thinking I need something else. And so as I said, a year out, and then I went and did my barista course. And from that then, I just fell in love with the kind of the business side of coffee. Obviously the perks, so you drink as much as you want, and there was different tasting sessions and things like that. I thought it was pretty cool at the time. And then I did my barista course when I did like latte art courses and stuff, and that bit's like the fun part of it all, really. The bits you see these days more than ever. And then I ended up having 3 blends. March 2017. I thought, fuck it, I'm just gonna set a business up. So I got a brand name. I trademarked it within 6 weeks.
What's the brand called? It's a chance to plug your coffee brand, mate.
Yeah, we spoke about it all day.
No, we haven't. We spoke about rugby all day.
Oh yeah, so branded So Coffee Trades. But I'll be honest with you, it took 3 months for me to think about the name.
It took you 3 months.
3
That's
months
your
to get
initials,
your initials.
yeah?
Yeah.
How many names? Do you have any other names?
Oh, not that I can remember
Scott
now.
Coffee or Otten Coffee.
Otten Coffee actually came up.
Otten Coffee doesn't sound too bad.
No, it doesn't, but it's called So Coffee, so let's move on. Got the brand trademarked it. Told a couple of people, which is the worst thing you'll ever do when you think of a business name, because everyone thinks they know better.
When we come up with a name for
Don't
this,
you know it.
we would tell everyone just to keep it to themselves.
So, should we carry on?
That's actually how the name came about.
That's how it come about. We had a different name. This is about us now. Fuck you. We had a different name, and someone goes, "What's it called?" And the name
You
we
walked
had
out the
was,
barbershop,
we're not going to say the name because people may like it. I think we're dickheads.
But
I
you
told
walked
one
out the
guy,
barbershop.
and I was like, "It was me and Adam." And he said, "Tell me the name." So we told him the name, and then we just went, "But keep it to yourself." As soon as I said that, Adam was like, "Oh my god!"
Tell me the name of the original name.
What with the microphones here? No,
Whisper,
go on. I'll tell you. Come here.
What?
I'll tell
Meet
you.
me halfway.
I'll meet you halfway.
There we are, then.
Do
I
you hear
don't
that?
think that's a
Do
very
you hear
good
that?
name, to be honest. That's why we
Nice.
changed it to.
Fucking childish.
We've sworn so much.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
So yeah, took me 3 months to think of the name, and that's genuine. And then, as I said, March 22nd, set up the business, and then I thought, right, 2 years, because rugby is obviously priority. Build this business slowly, get the brand, all that kind of stuff. And I was very new, and I thought brand was just, label your bags, get out there on social media a bit, just build it up. But there's a lot more to it than that. I've learned that over the last couple of years.
Did you think, were you established in the rugby sort of? Do you think this will be a bit easier to get out there because you've got friends in high places and stuff like that?
Well, for the first 2 years, I didn't use rugby to get in anywhere.
Nice.
I refused. And then after a couple of chats with people, they were like, stupid you're not. Flat out said you have to. And it's not about you. It's not about big-headed or anything like that. It's like you've got a platform, use it. And then I learned that. And then...
Well, the only reason that you're on here is because you got a blue tick. I can give a fuck about you.
Yeah, that's fair. This podcast
I'm
won't
joking.
downhill, you carry on.
No, it's funny. Enjoy
I
yourself.
can't wait for us to get our blue tick then.
Do you reckon? Man, if I get one and you don't.
I don't need a blue tick. Sweet.
I reckon Jack and Nathan
I
will
got
get theirs
friends.
before us.
Yeah, they're the real guys.
They are, mate. They are the actual brains behind the whole thing.
Yeah, they are. And you took all the glory. You're just front man.
No, the looks. You meant to say the looks, right?
Looks and glory.
Hey.
When you turn up one time.
So you had a brand.
watched them.
Nice. Yeah.
Fan of the show.
He was late. Alton Towers twice.
Yeah, so I wanted to take 2 years, and then May then. Yeah, it is twice as well. Terrible. May then I had my first sale, and then kind of grew from there then. Speaking to clients that I knew who owned coffee shops, people I knew who owned coffee shops, got in there, starting to get the rugby boys to plug it, give a hell of a lot of freebies in the first 12 months just to get it out.
So you made a loss straight away.
Oh, massively.
Massive loss, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just got rid of everything, try and build a brand, because I was lucky because my income wasn't So Coffee. So Coffee was generating its own money. So I was using that money to invest back in to get the name out there. Obviously as the business grows, you get tighter on that kind of thing because you start building your own brand in its own right. And then, as I said, we're 5 years in now. We've grown to three coffee blends. 3 coffee blends, a single origin, 2 instants, and then we've got merchandise, subscription packages, clients. We've got contracts signed up, like the 2E call center. We've got 4 machines in there, 3-year deal there. We're looking at big, don't want to say them, but big contracts with big companies from Cardiff to Swansea now as well, which if they come in, it changes the business overnight, which is something that we're looking forward to if it happens. We're working on, we're linked up with Ospreys Community Charity where we give £1 of every order now to them, which, when you sell a tin for £6, it's a lot of money. Cups for £6, it's a lot of money. You sell a kilo for £18, kind of balances itself out. But it's something that I've always been kind of passionate about, and the way the community grows, similar to what we were speaking about earlier.
Yeah.
So like that, I wanted to help them. And like the 2 golf days that you're coming to, where, the auction and raffle prizes, we've got like 25, 30 auction raffle prizes from local companies throughout Swansea and some in Cardiff. And all that money then is going to the community as well. So it's great. Like, it's good that I can use So when you talk about platforms, I've used my platform now to grow this business, but I'm also using that So Coffee's own platform to represent the charity and help them generate more funding. So yeah, we're looking to, this is a bit of an insight, we're looking to rebrand now in July. So it starts from the 20th of June on like social media and stuff, but then from the 1st of July then we'll be bringing out new coffees. You know, I won't say which one, but one of them's staying. All the names are changing. We're bringing out, I don't want to go into it too much. Just in case.
You have to.
I don't.
No.
So we're bringing out new coffees.
Cana, what's he doing?
Don't say a word.
I tell you, I have to kill you.
Kill us. It's fine. It's on camera.
Yeah, so we're bringing out some new coffees, some, I'll say infused type coffees.
What's
say
he
a
by
word
that?
and I'll kill you. Well, you'll have to find out. And then, yeah, as I said, the marketing's changing, branding's changing, so it's really exciting. The golf days, and then we're looking then to go into, you know, some bigger businesses then leading from August on. And it's exciting for us. It's exciting for our current customer base and clients where, you know, we're offering new products then. You know, we've got a big launch for something in August, which is really exciting. Again, can't say too much about it at the moment, which is quite boring really, I know. But
No, you just tell us after this, isn't it?
yeah, I'll tell you after. And then, yeah, so it's really exciting at the moment. And that's why, like, to be honest, some of this wouldn't have come if I didn't retire as well. So, you know, as soon as that happened, it's just like plowing.
So you're like, this is 100% you now. Like, you're not looking to do anything else at the minute.
No.
So Coffee's you.
Yeah, So Coffee, and obviously Humble as well. So
Yeah, shout out Humble. Thank you for letting us film you. Humble's your coffee shop as well. I know
Yeah.
there's a couple of owners.
yeah, me and Rob McCusker. So it's
Shout out, Rob.
It kind of when
McCusker.
I started the business, I was injured, and then we were both out for like 9 weeks. And I said to him, "I'm doing my barista course. I'm doing this. Like there's." So he helped me massively, and then I thought he was just really clever, and I found out every time I asked him something, he was just googling it. He told me that, and I was like, "That's why."
So did you have? So you were saying you were injured in what, 2017?
Yeah.
So you two were injured at the same time.
Yeah.
Did you already have this? The coffee, So Coffee. What did you have first? Sorry, So Coffee.
I had So Coffee first. Yeah.
Okay, and then you
No,
said
so
to
when I
him-
was injured, I hadn't had anything.
Okay.
So I was doing my barista course, looking into this business, and then I kind of started it up throughout that really. And as I said, Rob was massive and helped me massively, and just the support, someone that, because I was training with him every day, like it was just me and him, so we were isolated from pretty much everyone else, and it was great actually. You know, we were both on the path to get fit again, and at this point, I didn't really know Rob that well. I knew of him obviously in the rugby world, he's a big name, so. You know, I looked up to him massively, and he was, you know, Rob, he's a great bloke, and
Yeah.
we got chatting, and it started then, and then I kind of took off, and he was just like, great, and you know, there's a star on the Power of 8 bag, because I said to him,
The Power of 8's one of your blends, isn't it?
that's the single origin, that.
Yeah.
Just saying, yeah.
I have no idea what single origin means.
You better just go, yeah, what a single origin?
So like I
Single
messaged,
origin, that's a blend, no?
no, blend is 2 different origins, and the Power of 8 then is just from one place.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Oh!
That's why it's called
I get.
single origin.
Yeah, and blend is obviously blend.
Maybe
All right,
so
all right, all
coffee
right.
power
Don't
on.
gang up on me
As soon
again.
as you put a power on, you've got coffee knowledge.
Instant knowledge, mate.
Instant knowledge. I texted him saying Power of 8 because my strongest coffee, inspired by Rob McCusker, with like a star. No, sorry, I said, yeah, inspired by Rob McCusker. And I put a star and he loved it. So I thought, fuck it. So there's a star on top of the 8. So it don't really mean much. You don't get a kickback from any of this. But
Does it say Rob McCusker on it?
no, it's the bag's right there. It's just a star on top. So it just represents that it was for me
Over
to
there.
him to say thank you in a way. And it's only a star. But personal
He knows, yeah.
conversation. And he was like, you're mad. Like, why have you done that? It's your branding. I was like, no one else knows. Most people won't even notice it. So, and then we always wanted to kind of do some sort of business together. And So Coffee was always just me. I couldn't really get anyone else in.
Did you look for people to like do it with you at the start?
Nah, I paid people to do a lot for me. Like the branding side of things and all that. Like at the start, I put £500 in. And I just used that £500, bought stock, sold it, and then went from there. like you look back at social media now, because obviously social media grows all the time. I mean, you're deleting photos, you're thinking, what the fuck is that? But at the time, it was getting the name out there. Do you know what I mean? And that's what was important. A lot of it was just word of mouth. You know, we got all the Ospreys and some Scarlets boys, Dragons boys posting it for me and stuff. It was big. Yeah, and then 2 years, so just growing that now, and it's really exciting times coming. It's a lot of hard work at the moment. It's a lot of all the prep work, like things like doing my labels myself now. So trying to teach myself Photoshop, and so I don't have to get other people to do it. We change, as I said, changing the bags, bringing other companies involved, new branding. We got our roasters is now Welsh, so we're all Welsh based, which is great. Other than the growth of the coffee, because we're in over here. There's no Colombian coffee being grown over here, but it's probably
maybe that's your next venture.
Well, we never know.
And you can name it after me and Adam. Put a star on it. 2 stars.
No, yeah, you're not that special. And then 2 years later, then Rob said to me about this place and said, "Look, there's a shop." And I was like, "Right, okay, come and see it." I was like, "No." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'll buy it straight away, or I'll come in on it straight away." Brought me down here. I left here owning a coffee shop. So,
oh really?
Yeah. So we went in on it, and then we started, because this place was just a box ultimately. Like it was just brick walls and breeze block walls, and then we had it all painted, got the woodwork done, built the bar, extended the kitchen.
It's good. I like it.
And then we started to take off then, and it's got a good story, because after 2 years, when he was helping me with So at the start, we're actually in business together now, and we're 2 years in August now here.
How's it going? Good?
Yeah, it's going. Obviously, lockdown.
Yeah,
took a hit, but if you speak to a lot of businesses, if they did things right in lockdown, then they're probably financially
better off.
Like know what it's like. But obviously now we're reopened, you're paying for more stuff again. Wages change because no one's on furlough anymore. So it's like, ultimately it's just covering the wages and the stocks and stuff really. But yeah, it's picking back up, which is great, but it's going to take a couple of weeks again. We're not, Machanis is there, but we're not on the seaside. So we haven't really got views. You literally will come here to eat in, have coffee and breakfast, and then leave to go to the rest of your day. You're not, there's no experience out there. You know what I mean? And that's what people are looking for now. If you look down the Mumbles and Langland Way, people go and stay there for a couple of hours because they got coffee, beer, food, and they got views. And they got paths to walk and stuff.
Will you be looking to go down to that sort of area, down to like Swansea, Mumbles, anything?
Yeah, well, So Coffee is in the new year, potentially.
So is that another thing you can't tell us about?
Yeah.
So they'll be moving then from wholesale to having to like its own shop then as well?
Retail, wholesale in one.
Okay.
Ultimately, it's probably as far as I can go. That it's not happening at the moment.
You won't tell us anything.
No. It's not happening at the moment, but because it's not in our plans, it's in our plans, but not this side of Christmas. So, going into the next year, there's like 3 major things that we're focusing on, and that's one of them. It's just location in Swansea is very hard.
Everything's expensive now as well.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Depends who you know.
Depends who you know. Who'd you know? Are you going to tell us that over?
Yeah, so no, we'd love a retail wholesale shop somewhere. And that's kind of where we're looking to go, but it's just the right location for us, really.
So your life is dedicated now, coffee.
Yeah, well, yeah, running a business, building a brand.
Is it? Jesus Christ.
If there was a rocket coming straight
Did you back that up, Ben? Loud, that, wasn't it? Coffee.
Yeah, it's just about building a brand.
Yeah?
Yeah. And selling good coffee.
How much, you obviously want this to be, you want it to be worldwide, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, we want to go international, yeah.
Nice.
Within probably 18 months. Which is probably longer than I want it to be.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But it's doable. Coffee's so popular now, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There's shops going everywhere.
That's the thing. You look like, 10 years ago? Because obviously,
yeah.
Well, we sort of had the same conversation.
Yeah.
Because we had someone else on here that has a coffee shop.
Yeah.
But
thriving.
Yeah, but I said to, we said to them, 10 years ago, there wasn't anything.
No.
There was no independence with that.
No.
But now, the coffee shops everywhere.
Yeah, now you've got pink and purple, bloody cappuccinos and flat whites, and latte art is a huge thing. Like latte art is a skill. And it's
and you can do it. We have seen that.
Yeah. Go on the So Coffee page, you'll see it.
At So Coffee Trades.
Yeah, boom, drop.
Follow, like,
Sign up to subscription.
then follow Luke.
12% off, free thermos. Nailed it.
So domestic coffee machines.
Yeah.
What's a domestic coffee machine?
Household machine.
Okay.
Yeah. So like our foundation is the online business. So we've got focuses on there, sell subscription, sell coffee. But what groups that together is the service that we offer along with that. And that's where the rebranding is going to come into it. It's going to be a different kind of experience for people. We don't want to just sell you a bag of coffee and send you on your way. We want you to have an experience with it before it hits your cup, I guess.
Nice. I like that. Before it hits the cup.
Happy with that.
Very good.
So how do I put it? So we've now been given, I guess, a license or the go ahead to be the South Wales distributor for San Remo. We're like Mercedes, the coffee world. So they got a Cube San Remo machine.
So this is quite a big insider, to be fair.
Yeah, it's decent. I got to sell a machine first before it's anything. So like we're going to offer a coffee machine, 12 months coffee. You get your milk jugs, your grinder, your tamper. So as I said,
what?
It's the thing you saw me pushing into the basket.
Oh.
A coffee tamper.
Oh, Tampa.
What I think I said.
Tampac.
You're weird. So
I don't want that in my coffee, mate. I swear down.
Especially, no.
that's where the red flat whites come from.
All right, we'll cut that out. Because I was about to say something horrific.
Wait, what were you gonna?
I was going to say a used one.
Yeah, but that's why you're seeing the red. That's where the red.
Oh, we're going with this way. Let's keep it in.
No, don't give it.
No, we'll take that.
Right, so distribution, you got your coffee, yeah.
Yeah, so the big part of us, a big part of what we want to give is that experience. So like, we just don't want to sell a coffee machine and let you find your own coffee, find your own grinder, because that would be stupid, first of all. So we're giving the 12 months coffee, the grinder, the tamper, the milk jug, the whole lot really. So when you buy this kind of machine, you don't have to. As soon as you put it in,
You're ready for the year.
You're ready to go. And then it also comes with an app where you can set it so it turns itself off. It turns on 15 minutes before you get up. The yield that comes out, which is just the water, that's automatic on your phone, so you can look at your phone and it's live and you can turn it off. There's no fancy buttons on it. You got 3 nozzles, one for the milk jug, one for the water, one for the coffee. It's pretty simple, but it's a really well put together machine. Quite quiet as well. So if you're up at 4:45 in the morning, I'll wake up the kids. So it's something we're excited about that we're going to launch pretty soon, really, along with the rebranding and things. So that's exciting. But it's exciting to tell you. But unless I start selling coffee machines, it's just another idea.
Yeah.
So it's a focus for us. Yeah.
That's good, though.
Yes. All right.
It seems like you've got sort of a good plan to go forward for the next 18 months and going forward from there.
Yeah.
What do you expect? Where I know you said you're going worldwide. What's your sort of next step? Because obviously you've got Britain at the moment.
Yeah.
Will it be then sort of Europe, or are you going Americas? What's the
everywhere?
just literally branch out straight?
Yeah, we would branch if we had the opportunity to branch through Europe. We would do it. I would do that tomorrow. And then like a lot of our insights online come from America and Canada, but at the moment we haven't got a system set in place. It's a bit tricky sending coffee over there, especially with everything that's gone on recently. So it goes UK, USA, Canada, where we get our insights online from. The furthest we've sent is Czech Republic, which is just random. UK, we cover mainly Scotland, England, Wales, really. And then, the ideal for us would be then to grow this online, which is the foundation of the business worldwide, and then clients off the back, clients, which is the next step, and the contracts then, which is an even bigger step. But, that's going to take time. It's something that I haven't pushed at the moment because as I said, when you rebrand it, and the importance is getting the brand right first.
Yeah.
And then when you start pushing that, people start to believe it a bit more. The big thing for us is about bringing people together, and that's where these golf days, these charities, these offering a good service and good quality coffee comes in on it. And this is where probably the family part of the rugby has come into the business. I'm all about representing my brand as it should be represented, but I'm also willing to help my brand represent other people's services. And that's kind of where we want to go with it. Like, no one coffee shop is really better than the rest if the idea and the locations are right. It comes down to the people that run it. I guess it's kind of how you help other businesses, I see. And I think that's massive, especially during everything we've been through.
So is that what you would see as the way that you differentiate yourself from, say, other sort of coffee businesses? Because as you said, a lot of them are similar.
Yeah.
The way that you differentiate them is that with your personality and the way that you come across and the people that you.
Yeah, massively. If my business can, even if you're talking these big businesses that don't even know of So Coffee, if I ever get my foot through the door with them, I'll probably find a way to help them, not just offer my service and my coffee. Because if there's a way that I, as a person, using my platform with either recent rugby or the business, I'll do that. Because they're still people. It doesn't matter their business is 10, 20 times the size of mine. It's just the way I'll always run my business.
Yeah.
And then people who kind of go the opposite way and quite selfish with things, I won't do business with, no matter how good it is for me. And people watching this might think that's stupid, but that's not my business. And you either run your business with good values or you don't. Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm pushing mine.
And that's a good way of looking at it, to be honest, I think, is keeping your ethics as the forefront of that rather than looking at other sort of areas. And because a lot of people are profit driven, which, obviously you are going to be profit driven anyway, but ethically, to have such a good ethics standpoint and morally to push them first as your forefront is such a massive part. And I think that will actually get you a lot further in the long term than being somebody who is completely profit driven. Yeah,
well, for me to have my own location, warehouse, people working for me, and to carry on growing this business, you've got to profit. You know what I mean? And like that's probably one of the hardest things when people try and bring you down. There's businesses, and I could have got in 5-6 places in one meeting, and I turned it down because they've gone from one markup. Oh, actually, we want this. And I said, I tell you what, let's just call it a year. And I was really small at the time, and it was just like, I see what you're trying to do here. And I tell you what, let's just leave this because I don't want to know what's going to follow. Having this kind of relationship starting from here. And I understand what they're doing because that's their business, which I got no disrespect with that, but it just wasn't right for me. So obviously, you've got to, I've got to make my markup and I've got to profit. And at times it's really good. And then there's times where I do take hits on certain things, which every business will tell you. Well, if they're honest about it, they will. Because you've got to do it for some things, like marketing things, for example. A lot of people take hits on marketing. Like you spend on ads or you get people involved or social media or whatever it is. But yeah, it's exciting.
Do you feel like that the negotiation sort of skills that you've gained, do you reckon you got them a lot from, contract negotiations and things like that and anything during rugby? And have kind of transferred that to negotiating with like the big dogs that you've said that you've turned around and said, no, I don't want this, because you understand what it's like to be in a position where someone's tried to sort of play you or anything like that.
Well, the issue I've had with this is it hasn't really, in person, yes, is the straight answer. It's, like people's skills and all that has come from it. And in person, I don't just speak business. I want to find out about the person and, have that kind of relationship with people. And that's kind of where my successful deals has come through. But it's like, emailing and setting up interviews or things like applying for, tenders and stuff like that. That's the tricky part, because I speak on an email sometimes like I'm speaking in person. And this is where the Hannah comes into it. And she puts the business
Shout out Hannah.
Yeah. She puts like that business spin on it where, no, you need to do this. Like one email she deleted and wrote it herself. And it was like, okay, because what she has written is what I'm actually trying to say. Yeah. But I've just done it as if I'm speaking in person. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right, much.
All right, much.
That was a family.
Did you watch the football last night?
Yeah.
EastEnders was mental.
Yeah, I forgot to ask about
Are we still on for tomorrow?
Yeah, so like, there's things I'm still learning now about it. Do you know what I mean? And there's, you always need, in business, you always need someone to help you out. And I'll never, ever go away from understanding and appreciating someone who's better than you at something. And, I think as a business owner, if you have 10 things and you're focusing all 10 things, you need to start finding, for you to grow, I feel, you need to start looking at, right, what's priority and what's not. So the 3, 4, 5 that are at the bottom, they're not priority really for you. So get someone in who's better than you at doing them, because there's a reason they're not priority for you. But I guarantee if you weigh it up, it's probably an important part of the business. So then you get someone else who's better than you to do it, and then they represent that and represent you. So then, you know, the top three then become even more important because they got your sole focus. So I'm a big believer, like what I mentioned, Hannah is a big focus, like she makes that bit better. So that's why it's important to listen, even though I've run it for 4 years on my own. But now it's getting to a stage where I need people who are better than me, that's something to come on board, I guess.
And that's a really admirable quality to have is, sorry, did I say admiral or admirable? I didn't say admirable.
You said admiral.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an admiral, it's an admirable quality.
If admirals listen, I'll supply you coffee.
Yeah.
Supply the coffee for
if
them.
anyone in Admiral drinks
supplies 2
coffee,
emails.
he's got your guy. There's 3 nozzles. There's not many buttons, and it works. You work from the phone. If you're up at 5:15, turn it on. Mate, I'm selling the shit out of this.
Yeah, that's for home. If it's for admiral, you want a commercial machine.
Domestic.
But yeah, it's
Abuse.
it's an admirable quality to have because you can you put your pride aside to kind of say like, look, I know this person's better than me at doing these things. I think if I do this is going to benefit the business a lot more. Whereas a lot of people will always try and take on everything, take on the whole world by themselves, and never look for help or lean on each other. And that can be their downfall. And I think it's a big thing. Maybe like that's something that's sort of transferred from rugby as well, because, you know, with the team side of things and the teamwork. But yeah, I think it's like that's going to be a big strength moving forward in terms of helping the growth of the business.
Yeah, I think so. I do take on quite a lot myself, and like the photoshopping for like creating my own labels and stuff like that, and sourcing like the CBD, the stuff like I've got to do. And like me,
Oh, what, the CBD?
plug.
Oh,
Move on. Yeah, so you can leave that in as well. So with like sourcing those type of stuff and like photoshopping my labels and all that kind of stuff, and creating the labels and things like the stuff like I do myself, and I do that myself because otherwise I'm going back and forth with someone who doesn't have the same views as I do.
Yeah.
They might understand my views, but it's always different.
Yeah.
So there's things like that eats up my time to like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm sitting there and I haven't spoken to Hannah in 8 hours, sitting on the same sofa, and I just go, right, babe, and then that's it, you know. So look at the camera then. Right,
she's
babe.
definitely in bed.
Yeah, no,
Before
right,
2:30.
she'll sit there, and like you know,
She's
it's things-
scared. She's scared you're going to send an email out. She's on edge. So as it stands out at the minute, then you're getting into you're in coffee shops, obviously, and stuff. You got a lot online based at the minute now. You're doing a lot online.
Yeah, it's growing well. Yeah.
What are you offering online? You said you had some subscriptions and stuff. Subscriptions and stuff.
Yeah, so it was important for us that we supplied coffee to people door to door, you know, from our door to theirs, and they, you know, you never have to worry about ordering the coffee. So many times I was told, "Oh, I meant to order coffee from you. Oh, I meant to order coffee from you," all the time. So I thought, right, what's the best way for me to get people just to order coffee, sign up to a subscription, and then, you know, every month, 6 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it is, because everyone's different. Some people are every 4 months. Right, my beans are coming in then. Like, so I never run out, you know what I mean? And they're happy with the quality of the coffee, so why not keep buying? So we offered a subscription service where for every order, you get 12% off the order as an incentive for signing up. You get a free thermos, a free snud, a free shortbread.
A schnud.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and then also, no, that's it. And you get a nice gold box. So it was just, it's important for us to have something like that, to offer that kind of service. And it is growing. People just want to buy the thermoses at the moment, but I'm quite strict on not doing that because the reason you sign up to the Soul Coffee Club
is to get the,
Yeah, and then the whole approach about bringing people together, what we want to do when we get to 100 or 150 subscribers for just that alone, then we're going to start offering more things for the Soul Coffee Club members, like exclusive insights. So like for the branding, for example, they would have things a week early. So they'd prep, they know it's coming. The coffee machines, they would have it early. Any news that we had, they'd always have it early. They'd have exclusive discounts. And just to say again, thank you for doing it. Like pass this to a friend, pass this to a family member, because they're already on the subscription anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like little things like that. And if ever we grow to the thousands,
which you will,
yeah, we'll start maybe every subscription holder gets one of the hoodies or gets a free cap if we ever sell caps again and things like that. So we want to keep saying thank you the longer people stay on. Like you can prepay for three months to 16% off, 6 months sorry, 3 months of 14% off, 6 months of 16% off, or as a couple of people have done, they prepaid for the 12 months for 18% off, which if you look at the grand scheme of things is a lot of money. So subscription, sign up, visit the website.
How much is the subscription?
Depends what coffee you have. For that instant bag, you're paying $7.92 plus shipping a month.
Nice.
Yeah.
And if it's in Swansea, will you hand deliver it?
Sometimes we do, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, sometimes we pick a
Little things like that, man, people would like.
Yeah, massive, yeah. So like we pick a day, we got the 10 orders in that one day. Just for easy numbers, we'll put all the addresses in, set it up, and we'll drive from door to door. Take a couple of hours, but it's nicer for people. It's a lot different during COVID. Just knock on the door and run away, pretty much.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Get your subscriptions. Get them in. Get fucking demos.
Tell them the website.
www.socoffeetrades.co.uk. All the social media tags are at socoffeetrades.
That is at socoffeetrades. www.socoffee.co.uk.
How many coffees have got on that? www.socoffeetrades.co.uk.
Socoffeetrades.co.uk.
Yeah.
I should just let you do it. I fucked it
Get
up.
on it,
So
Phil.
sorry.
Your coffee
Get on
needs.
it. Get your subscriptions in. And fucking enjoy it. You only get a flask if you subscribe. So subscribe. Subscribe.
Keep your coffee warm with a flask. Like,
I'm not going to subscribe. Right? I know you look like I know. I'll just take that one home with me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, you can't.
You sure?
you can subscribe. Take it home.
You can have it, mate.
Have you subscribed to the YouTube channel yet?
Yes.
Fuck.
Get a free.
Nathan
Yeah,
and Jack will subscribe. They're big coffee lovers. And you?
Get on it.
They're getting the subscribing. You'll subscribe, won't you?
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, I'll subscribe.
Second line.
Yeah. The best thing was I've waited for them to turn the mic on and Jack's just gone, yeah, I'll subscribe. Love it.
If I don't see that subscription in 3 to 5 working days, this podcast's going down.
You got to fight Jack. Jack's bigger than you.
Yeah, he is. I'll backtrack.
He's bigger than you.
I'll backtrack.
Just go for his neck, bro. It's simple.
Oh, mate.
Sorry.
Whoa,
No,
it's still fresh.
I didn't mean it. But let's. All right, we've been here a long time now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
no worries.
been good time though. I really do appreciate you coming on.
No problem at all.
Obviously, I nagged you to come on a couple of times.
Yeah.
You sort of said yes straight away because I'm a great bloke and you like me.
There's more for Ad.
More for ad. There we are then. Brilliant.
What can I say?
And the boys, obviously.
Yeah, but no, I hope you've enjoyed coming on.
No, it's been good. It's quite nice to speak openly and honestly.
Yeah, I wanted to. Not saying I wanted because I thought it might be good for you because of the retirement now, just to get out. And I know you've done a couple of interviews.
Yeah.
But I wanted you to do something that you might be comfortable with because obviously we're mates at the end of the day, and
Yeah.
I thought it'd be good.
Plug-in mates. Calling me a mate now.
Bruv, you thought me,
Acquaintances at best.
bruv,
Co-workers.
co-workers.
Oh, wait, that's me and you.
Right. Well, Adam's got a question he wants to ask you.
So to wrap it up, the final segment, we obviously have been asking the same questions, which was the sort of like fast food one. We're going to tangent away from that one. It's not going to be the fast food question. We're changing it. So here
It
is the
was a
final
bit-
question.
I thought
It's a bit of a
fast food was
fun
a
question.
question.
I like to end it on a high with a bit of fun.
Fucking grips me every time I answer questions.
This is not.
No, it's a
this is
really
nice.
easy
good.
question.
It's a really chilled, fun question. It's not like something mental. So the question is: you got 100-sided dice here. Every time you roll it, you get 100 grand. Yeah. If you roll a 1, you die.
Oh, God.
Dead. Gone. You lose all your money. Yeah. You can't give it to Hannah and then die. You die. It's gone. You can roll it as many times as you want. How many times are you rolling it?
It's a fucking good question,
Well, how
isn't it?
much was the winnings?
100. So
grand per
every time
roll.
you roll it, you get, if it lands on 2 to 100, you get 100k every time you roll it. If it lands on 1,
Dead.
you're dead, the money dies with you. Hannah can't have it.
I'm 26 years old
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't just roll it once, spend the 100 grand, then roll it again. It's like you roll it this
You
way.
get like, we'll say to you,
I'd back myself rolling the minimum 10 times.
You're going for 10.
I would.
you
Minimum.
how can you back yourself?
I would. If I die, I die.
But that's just luck. It's just
Risk
luck.
of
You
roll.
can't back yourself.
Yeah, you can.
So you roll it, you try and get a mil.
Yeah, I would, yeah.
You're nuts. Fuck that.
Four.
Fuck.
You wouldn't.
You know what?
I'd
Actually,
roll it. I think
The
I'd roll it.
chances are very slim that you
Yeah.
roll a 1.
And they're independent every
Yeah,
time.
but if you do, you fucking die.
That's the thing. The
As long
risk
as
to
you don't do it the
reward.
first time.
How many times did you roll it?
You know what? I'm probably going 10 now, actually. Yeah. No.
Oh, friends, 10. We'll do 10
No,
together.
because the thing is, you get a nice,
I'll do
you get a
10
nice
for Scott's
mood.
done 10.
Are you rolling it at all?
Once. If I get 100k for rolling a fucking dice, I'm chilling.
I one thing I could do that 10 times.
No, bro.
Yeah.
You roll a 1,
You would.
you're dead.
What are you going?
Hannah's looking at Scott like, you should roll it at least 30 times. You know what I mean?
You've got
I'm
99
sorry,
other
Hannah.
options. What are you boys going?
What are you doing?
Well, if you ask me pre-COVID, probably 5-10 times. Today, give me that fucking dice.
Just constantly rolling it.
If you ask me
It's like on 35,
pre-COVID.
he hasn't stopped. Yeah, he keeps going.
What about you, Nate?
I'll probably go like 15. I'll up it.
Oh.
You boys are
You guys, you don't even care. You don't want to live, do you? Just
You
say
boys are
If you think about it, in
nuts.
terms of numbers, it's a 1% chance of dying. 1%.
every
Yeah.
time as well, yeah.
1%. That's nothing. Like you could go for quite a while.
Do you know when you put it like
every
that?
time.
Yeah, more chance of dying in a car crash.
If it was like...
Well, brilliant. I
every
can't wait to
time-
drive home now. Fucking, really? 10 times?
They said I'd die if I had a car crash, so don't worry about it.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I love the fact that
Cut.
No, keep that in. That's mid-combo. He said I'd die if I had a car crash.
with the headphones.
Fucking hell.
out.
So
Our
you're-
personal conversations here is great.
Yeah, you know, you're just looking at, yeah.
We were whispering all the way through, it's great.
Yeah, but we can hear you. I'm sat next to you.
Yeah.
What did I say?
We can't hear you, but we can hear you on
Yeah,
the
sorry
playback.
about that. 10 times, yeah, definitely.
Hannah, how many times would you roll it?
I wouldn't. I got dogs.
I wouldn't. I've got dogs.
Yeah, no, I get that. Dogs come first.
I love the fact she said, I wouldn't. I have dogs. Not, I wouldn't. I have dogs and Scott.
Yeah, because I
have dogs.
probably already rolled it once and died.
Yeah, he's
so.
got-
Yeah.
That's the thing. Can you
That
imagine
1%
that,
was
though?
me.
You've rolled it once and you died. Like, yeah, how pathetic. How unlucky are you?
If
like having a pe- that's like dying from peanut allergies.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So we're all in the same room. Now I'm throwing the numbers out. Scott goes first. Scott rolls a 1. Are you rolling the dice there?
Yes.
100%.
I'm 100%.
Well, you're not rolling it because you're dead. You can't answer this question. You are so
Why am I
but then he
almost
was gonna-
dead?
Yeah,
because you just said.
he's the
You
guest.
won't even roll it, you pussy.
I said I'd roll it once.
Yeah, you're dead.
I'll be fucking dead.
I'm 100% picking it straight up and rolling it.
That's horrible. You paid for my funeral though, surely.
I'm rolling it on your body, mate.
Probably won't come.
That is horrible.
Oh, sorry. What?
That is so horrible.
Well, it's horrible.
He was like, I'm rolling it on you.
Yeah. Good luck, innit?
I said I wouldn't come.
Yeah, he wouldn't even go to your funeral. At least I'll be there rolling it on you.
What's going on? What a fucking horrible day this has been. Fucking hell.
And that wraps things up then today.
Yeah, listen, I think it's been a very, very nice chat. I do appreciate you coming on. I think you rolling the dice 10 times is fucking ridiculous. And saying you're not coming to my funeral is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
But
I don't mean it really.
I do respect you for coming on. And I do hope and I do think your coffee business will take off. Because you're a good bloke and I like you. And you're driven.
Because you like.
And Hannah writes her emails.
You got the
While
Luke
she's
Brown seal of
currently
approval.
eating a custard
Guaranteed
slice.
success. Huh? Guaranteed success. Luke Brown seal of approval. You like him, so.
But thank you for coming on. As I've said, I do appreciate it. Obviously, we're new to this still. So it's hard to get people to come on, and I appreciate you coming on. I'm quite happy with how it went. I think you were quite happy.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on and talking about the hard times and the good times. That's important to appreciate.
But it's good we've had a joke about it as well.
Yeah,
you know
you
what
got
I mean?
to. No, mate,
you don't
you've
laugh,
got
you
to.
cry.
100%. You've got to realize what's going on and realize how you're going to move forward, and that's what's always important.
Exactly.
So, I appreciate you having me on. I'm sure this podcast will definitely go well, mate.
I'm sure
Stuttered. He was like,
I'm sure this podcast will go.
He stopped and
But you happy? You happy with everything that went
Yeah,
on
I mean,
today?
I was. Yeah. No, I think it's been great. You've been an amazing guest. I've actually really enjoyed listening to all the sort of the stories, the ups and the downs. If we could keep going and talk more about sort of the career and everything like that, and going forward, I would. But yeah, we are out of time. But thank you.
Yeah, I think it's been good. I really do appreciate it. If you at home have liked this again, as I say every time, if you can like and subscribe and go on all our socials, keep it to yourself. Jack, put it at the bottom. Keep it to yourself at Keep It To Yourself podcast. Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. That would be perfect.
Yeah, and keep it to yourself. Yeah, go on, do that.